BowmanDigitalMedia.com. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Marketing Mondays with Ira Bowman. I am coming just a little bit early today. I'm going to be doing some things different. In fact, this show is going to, I think, be totally torn apart and rebuilt. But I thought today, you know what? A lot of people are off of work. Not everybody, certainly, but a lot of people are taking a break for the holidays. And so I thought, you know what would be, I think, more helpful to many of you is not marketing tips per se, but social media tips instead. So I'm calling this thing, Let's Get Social. Tell me where you're coming from. First and foremost, look, I was talking with my friend Michael Connor in the DMs earlier today about many people just don't get it, right? Like they want to chat in the chat room, right? In the direct messages. And that's not the best thing to do on social media. You will increase your visibility by making comments on posts. So talk to your friends, as long as it's not something, like really personal, in the comments, chit chat in comments. Why? It helps you, it helps them, it helps post performance. Social media is not all about vanity metrics, certainly not. And I'm not a proponent of vanity metrics for vanity metrics' sake, but there is something to building your algorithm, right? To building your ability to be seen when you need to make a post that needs to go large. You do all this work so that when you need it, you have it. And a lot of that is just playing smarter, not necessarily harder. So welcome from Libya. Welcome from Morocco. Look, I love my audience. Did you know that 70%, it's actually over 70%, but let's just use 70% because it's easy to understand, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 people on LinkedIn are not from the United States. That shocks a lot of people when they hear that. And I don't know if they really process it, but yeah, people from West Africa, like Nigeria, people from all over the world. I love my network because it truly is global. If you could see what I see on my wall above me, above the sound, I've got this sound foam stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Let me show you. This is Get Social. I'm going to be sharing a lot of tips today. So these things, this is what I'm talking about. If you are using microphones and you're speaking into a wall, or you have a wall monitor like I do, you need to get some of this stuff. It helps to deaden the sound so you don't get that bounce back into the mic and you're hearing things like an echo twice. So get you some of these. They're really not expensive. I think I got 10 of them for like $30. So they'd make them like $3 each. Really not bad. These ones were kind of weird though. They came in like a vacuum seal, and I had to add water, and then they grew. It was kind of weird, but kind of cool to watch. Anyways, those are sound dampeners if you're looking on like Google or something. Hello from Bangladesh, and hello from Pakistan, and hello from South Africa. Look, I'm telling you guys, when you come on one of my shows, you're being seen by people all around the world, which is a lot of fun. What are we doing today? Today, I want to answer your questions about social media, right? So if you have a question, I sent one of my clients an article that I found. In fact, you know what? I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it on the screen. Why not, right? So I'll share this article and I'll put the link in, but it's a way that you can grow your Twitter account, right? So if you have a Twitter account, especially if you have a business account, sometimes it's hard to figure out how do we grow these things? How do we get people to see our account and then to want to hit that follow button or subscribe button or connect button or whatever platform you're on. Sometimes they say it different ways, but this was an article. I just Googled it and it came right up, but it's by Camellia Dudley. I don't know her, so hope she doesn't mind me sharing her article online. But here we go. So look at this. Share relevant and useful content. Boy, that helps everywhere. So when you're making a post, if you're sharing something that's relevant and useful, more people are going to engage with it. That's just should be obvious, but isn't necessary to everybody. Now she's suggesting post visual content. I'm going to tell you right here and right now that that's not true on every platform, but that is true as far as I know on Twitter. And I love posting visual content on Twitter. Tweet consistently. This again, you could use this logic for every platform. It's about being seen. Look, I'm gonna change screens for just a second. Let me give you a heart to heart here. Okay. Too many of you want to be rock stars and don't understand that that's not how social media works. I probably have more followers you on every single platform, and I'm not a rock star on any of them. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have a rock star mentality. What do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. I make posts. Yeah, I make a lot of good posts, and I'm a graphic designer. I'm a photographer. So you probably don't have the same skill set I do, and that's okay. You don't need it. Here's what you do need to do. You need to not be, somebody said it, I think it's my buddy Kurt Anderson, said, stop being the world's best kept secret, right? I think he said something like that. I'm paraphrasing. It's not exactly how he said it. But Kurt Anderson's right. Social media. Hello from Nigeria. Let me come back to this question in just a second, because a lot of you know I run projecthelpyougrow.com. And if you don't know what projecthelpyougrow.com is, you should go there. We'll talk about this in length in just 1 second. You are first in the queue. Okay. Let me finish this thought. The problem that most of you have is you want to make a post. You want all these followers, but you don't want to talk to them. You don't want to engage with them. Look, one thing of anything, if you know about me, is I will out hustle most people. And everybody says they're the hardest worker in the room, but most people don't have the work ethic to match it. Try me. Go to any of my posts and make a comment. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to respond. 99.9% of the time. Sometimes I miss them because I do get over inundated with notifications. My notifications don't always work. So I don't always see your comments, and actually it's frustrating to me. I reach out to the platforms and say, hey, how come I'm not getting notifications about this or that? But other than that, I pretty much respond. I'm up 15, 16 hours a day on social media. Sundays, I take a little bit of break because I'm at church. But other than that, Monday through Saturday, I work a full day. I put in 12 hours every Saturday. Okay. But what am I doing that you're not doing? And I'm not trying to be accusatory here. I'm not speaking to you specifically. I'm speaking to you in general. Okay. You can't create posts and walk away. What is a post? I don't care if you're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are. What are you trying to do? What you should be trying to do is increase your visibility, right? That's the goal. You want to be able to make a post and have many people see it. Well, one of the ways that you do that is by engaging with people when they engage with you on a post. So first and foremost, when you create that content, I'm going to go back to this real quick because I really do think this is smart, okay? This lady, I just want to give her credit again, Camellia Dudley, okay? She said, share relevant and useful content. Yes, as your posts, make sure you're sharing useful and relevant content. I said it backwards. I have dyslexia. Anyways, whatever. Okay. So, but beyond that, make sure that you are talking to the people who purposely seek out to talk to you in the comments. It's like saying hello to somebody and they say hello back and then you don't acknowledge them, you just keep walking. It's like, well, why did you bother saying hello to me? Now I'm kind of mad at you. And that's what happens on social media. Too many of you, not everyone, but too many are starting conversations. They're not responding and they've actually done damage now to themselves. Think about that for a second. If you say hi to somebody, they say hi back, and you never acknowledge them after they've acknowledged you. If you were to do that in real life, what kind of a response would you expect? Bitterness. Bitterness is what you should expect. They think that you're rude, and frankly, you are being rude, and you may not be being rude on purpose. That's why I want to talk to you about it today. Help you out, okay? So, first things first, on social media as a whole, make posts with the intention of their conversation starters. If you do that, you'll go a lot farther, okay? You're not a rock star, neither am I. When I make a post, my intention is to talk to every single person who responds. The more responses I get, the more effort, frankly, I'm going to put into those comments because I'm creating a bigger party. It's like, when you have 3 guests over to your house, you're probably not going to do special catering and, pull out all the stops. But if you have 50 people coming over your house, boom, you could be prepping that thing for weeks. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to put a lot of effort into it. You're going to bring out the special china, maybe, or maybe not. But yeah, you get the idea, right? So the bigger the party becomes, make sure that you are fully engaged, because that's the good stuff. And then when you follow it up, make sure you do the same thing, right? It's like, okay, well, now you've generated this spotlight, this algorithm juice. What do you do with it? This is the strategies I want to talk about a little bit. Okay. So we got Nigeria is well represented. I think we got 3 people in the house currently watching from Nigeria, and welcome from California, all of you. I'm very happy that you're here. We've got looks like we got about 28 people watching us on LinkedIn. We are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So welcome wherever you're watching, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube. We're happy that you're here, and no matter where you are from around the world, we're happy. We want you to let us know in the comments where you're from. If you have a question for me, please feel free to put it in the show. If you want to come and join me and ask on video, look, I'd be happy to have you guys join me. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to post the link. If you want to join me on video today, you're more than happy to do it. Okay, so I just put that link in the comments. Okay, so if you want to join me, look, you can ask me any question you want. Join me online. You want to hang out and chat with me for a little while? Well, I can have up to 10 people on at one time. So if you want to join and make it a party, by all means, come on. If we've never spoken before over video or live, it would be fun to have some of you join. So feel free to join me live if you like. And if not, that's okay. You can always put your questions in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them there as well. Okay, so let's go back. I don't want to butcher your name, brother. But let's address this question. Do you think posting CVs helping in getting a job? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Posting a CV is, let me say this, it's the opposite of helpful. And here's why. Okay. The job market is so competitive. It's so competitive that every job posting that I put up, frankly, I have to turn it off within hours because I get so many responses. And here's the issue, okay? Because of the volume of CVs, resumes, wherever you're at, and what they call it, and they're not exactly the same thing, but they do essentially the same thing, right? If you're not familiar with the difference between a CV and a resume, go to Project Help You Grow and read my article on it. I'll teach you about it if you're interested, okay? But here's the problem with posting them. Somebody wants you to share it or post it on your page. Here's the problem. If I'm a recruiter and I look at your LinkedIn profile and I say, hey, he might be, a good fit for this job. And I pull down the CV and I run it through the ATS with all the other people who have submitted an application for the job, the odds of you making the cut, and this is the whole point, right, is getting the interview. But the odds of you getting that interview go down when it's generically submitted. This goes for people not just sharing a post, but using this strategy of one size fits all. Like you have a professional resume writer, CV writer, write your resume, write your CV, and then you think, okay, this was written by a professional, so I'm just going to use it carte blanche across the board. And here's the problem with it. It may be formatted correctly, but it hasn't done what we call keyword match for that specific job. And because you haven't, and I'm assuming that enough of your competition who have submitted for that job will have, the odds of you getting the earning, let me say it this way, not getting, earning the interview is 0 to none, right? I mean, you might get it because other people didn't do what they were supposed to do, but frankly, I would be surprised. Again, you have to remember the day and age that we live in and the time that we live in. There's a lot of competition for these jobs. Now, when the pendulum swings back to an employee job market where there are more jobs than candidates, which I do expect to happen, then posting a CV is helpful. So it's not that in the past it didn't work, and in the future it might not work again. It probably will. But right now, if I was a job seeker, I wouldn't. And I have a much larger network than most of you, right? I have much greater reach than most of you, and I wouldn't post my CV generically. It just wouldn't be an effective way to go about it. Because every single person who would say, okay, let me take Ira's resume, because where I am in the United States, we use resumes, not CVs. Okay. But if I was to post my resume online, it could be seen by a lot of people. It could be seen by a lot of employers. They could pull it down. Again, most companies now are using some form of ATS, and most people are going to have a lot of candidates, which begs the question, would they even pull your CV down and include you in the competition at all anyways? And the answer to that is not likely, right? But even if they were to, like I said, you're not going to, the odds that you would be the number one candidate or in the top, let's say they're doing 5%. Think about the numbers here for a minute. I can tell you that when I post jobs on LinkedIn or Project Help You Grow, or wherever I post them, when I put those job listings up, I typically get somewhere about 250 to 1,000 resumes for consideration in under 24 hours. That's what I get, okay? I am never going to interview 250 people or 1,000 people for a job. Just never going to happen. I don't have that kind of time and resources to dedicate to hiring one person. So what do? We use ATS. It screens keyword matches. And then we decide, okay, well, I'm going to interview the top 10 people or top 25 people. For me, that I will never interview more than that. I know some people who will interview the top 50. And I'm sure there are places out there that do more, right? But they're probably hiring more than one person at that point too, right? They're trying to find 5 new salespeople or 10 new customer service agents, or they just opened a new location and, so they need a bunch of, shift workers or whatever. So in those cases, yeah, they'll interview more. But the odds are most of you are applying for jobs that they're hiring one person. And so think about what I've said. They're getting hundreds, if not thousands of applicants very quickly. So the fact that they would even go online to try to find somebody, they don't need to. They just don't need to. So anyways, for all those reasons, and then if you're on LinkedIn and you share a CV openly and it has contact information on there, you can actually get in trouble. So there's another reason not to do it, right? If you're going to share a CV or resume on LinkedIn specifically, make sure that you cover up or remove the contact information section, because that violates their privacy policies and you can get in trouble. Okay. So hopefully help you get out, stay from getting in trouble too. What do we got here? What can you do to get a job quick on LinkedIn? Well, here's the problem. There is no one size fits all answer. Did you know the average job seeker before COVID-19 hit, pandemic, now this is in the United States. The average job seeker in the United States, it took 6.5 months, 6.5 months, 6 to 7 months, if you will, to find a job. That's the average job search. There are people, obviously, who could find a job faster. Mostly the jobs where you get hired faster are the ones that require less experience. So more entry-level type positions, you can get hired fast. In fact, if you're in the United States, you can get hired today. I mean, I can't drive a mile in any direction without seeing 100 different now hiring signs where I live. There are people hiring all over this country in the United States. Now, I don't know where you're from. It might be a little bit different. But entry-level jobs in the United States are easy to come by right now. I mean, super simple. If you don't have a job in the United States right now, you don't want the type of work that's available. And that's a choice that you make, right? You have too much experience. You're not going to go to work for, minimum wage. I get it. But you could have a job if you really wanted one right now, because there are so many entry-level positions available. It's just insane. Restaurants. I mean, I took my family to fast food the other day, and there was a sign on the door, no joke. It said, "We're having trouble getting our employees to show up for work, so please have patience with us. We're understaffed. It's going to take a while for you to get your food." Okay. And I appreciated the notice, because normally I would get a little grumpy. I'm hungry. That's why I'm there. I want to eat. But, because they let me know, then I was cautious. But here's what I will say. If you want to find a job quickly on LinkedIn, make sure you're active on LinkedIn. Make sure you go to people who have larger profiles. Look at the comments. Just go, when you're scrolling up your feed and you're looking for places to comment, go where the party is. If you see there's only one comment, that's probably not the place to spend a lot of your time. But if you got 15 comments, 30 comments, 100 comments, there's your party. Okay? Read that post carefully. Make a comment that adds something to it. Ask a question, make a statement, then ask a question. But participate. And you don't have to just talk to the author of the post. Get inside the comments. Read the comments section. Too many of you never read comments on posts, and you're missing out. Because a lot of the fun stuff, the good stuff, the stuff that can help you the most actually happens in the comments section. It's not even in the post. It's in the comment section. For example, I told you guys in the beginning of the show, I was talking to my buddy Mike O'Connor, who runs SPN. In fact, hang on a second. I want to do something, and I forgot. I'm going to invite some of my friends to join me here live. And if you guys are not familiar, or you're just joining now, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, if you want to join me and ask me a question live, by all means, go ahead and do so. Just jump on right now on the link that I put in the comments here. I'll put it again, because I'm just about to paste it somewhere. I've just pasted it in a chat room with some of my friends here on LinkedIn. Invite them and see if they want to come on. So let's see if anybody jumps in. But when you are looking for work, there's a couple different ways to do it, right? Find job listings, apply, never hear back. You could do that 500 times a day. And you feel good. I get it. You do feel good because you feel like you're doing something. But what you're doing is probably like grinding a gear that isn't shifting, right? It's not going anywhere. You're doing the same thing 500 times a day, using the same resume, same CV. You're not using a customized cover letter. You're not doing any research on the company. You're not giving yourself any extra chance to get the interview. So what I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to suggest that you change your strategy first and foremost. So let's start with social media, then we'll get into, I'm going to pull something up, and as soon as I have it, then I'll share my screen. But on social media, what you want to do is you want to make more comments. You want to make more friends. Be friendly. And I see this mistake so many times. It's like ad nauseum. People go, "Oh, I only want to connect and talk to people in my industry." Now, as a job seeker, that's actually not as bad. Job seekers who only spend time, they're not trying to be content creators. They're not trying to make a living on social media or go viral, any of these things. They just want to find a job. For you to stay in your industry actually makes the most sense of any of the other folks. Far too many people are in sales or own a business and they only want to connect with people in their industry. And it's like, how obtuse is that? But we can talk about the merits of that if you like. But for you, make comments. So do hashtag searches on, either hiring or your industry, things that you're interested in, and start making comments. Why? You're going to raise your visibility. But make sure to be friendly. Your goal here is not to come off as desperate. Your job here is to come off as likable, because people are far more willing to help you if they like you than if they don't. So make friendships here on social media, and that will help you. That's true for all of you, by the way. Whether you're in sales, you're in marketing, you're business owner, entrepreneur, you're in cryptocurrency, I don't care what you're in, you will catch more flies with honey than vinegar. An old coworker told me that a long time ago, and I didn't quite get it because I was in my early 20s at the time. I thought that was just weird, but as I get older, it makes more sense, right? So use your words in a way to be uplifting and build people up and show yourself friendly. That's a way to have friends. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to pull up a blog that I wrote, and I have lots of blogs here. Let me just share my screen real quick. So if you are looking to find a job, there is no reason on God's green earth that you should not be on Project Help You Grow. What is Project Help You Grow? Project Help You Grow is my website. Okay, I own it, I maintain it, it's mine, right? Project Help You Grow. What are we doing with it here? What I'm doing is I'm helping connect job seekers to employers who have jobs, and recruiters. I let the recruiters, in fact, we built the website with recruiters in mind because I figured they were going to be mostly the bridge, right? So a recruiter can list their jobs and they can search for candidates and do everything for free. Everybody can do everything for free. I don't have ads on here. You don't have to sign up for anything. You're not going to get emails. The only person who sends emails from Project Help You Grow is me, and I just don't have the time. Okay? I don't even respond to all the emails I get, frankly. I respond to the serious ones, but most of them, it's like just read the website. That's what it's there for. All right. So I put up a post here just a couple days ago. 4 compelling reasons why you should keep applying for jobs during the end of the year. Right now, you should still be applying for jobs, and I make the case for it in the article. And why you should back to the other question, why you should revise your resume before each job application is submitted. I teach you right here for free, okay? But in how not to be ghosted, how to counterpunch ageism. You know what happens is I get all these questions on LinkedIn, and then I write an article, answering that question. That's how it happens. But one of them that I wrote, it's a little bit older now. You got to go to older entries, and it's right here. It's win the interview, okay? So what does that mean? Let's look at it real quick. When you submit that CV or that resume and you want to get a job quickly, you're not going to get hired based on your resume or your CV. People have that wrong. Think about the process. In fact, I'm going to switch the screen a little bit. Okay. Here's what I want you to think of. The CV, the resume submission, is to win round 1. Round 1, get an interview. And that's what this particular article will teach you how to do. How do you win the first round? Now, when you get to the interview, the next thing you need to do is earn the job. That is a whole other set of things that you need to prep for and be ready to and do and implement to win the job. But you can't win the job 99.99999% of the time without an interview. People don't just call you up and say, we want to offer you $75,000 in full benefits. Can you start on Monday? They're not going to do that. They're going to interview you first. what do you need to do to win the job? Well, here's what you need to do to win or earn. I should have said earn the interview. That's what I should have said there instead of win. Earn the interview. Okay, what do you need to do? Interview prep. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my one for winning the job actually. So this is the one. If you get, my bad. Sorry. If you get the interview, that's what you need to do to earn the job. Hang on a second. How to earn the interview. There we go. That's titled right. Okay. And I had hair back then. Look at that. So nice. All right, here we go. What do you need to do? First and foremost, you need to make sure that your resume is ATS compliant. And if you don't know what the ATS is by now, I'd tell you in the article, but really, where have you been? I teach you about keywords and resume rankings. This is, very, very important. This is why we don't use a one-size-fits-all resume, because this right here, your keywords and your resume rankings are going to be maybe C-level, but we're not trying to pass the class. We're trying to earn the interview. You got to be in the top 10%, let's just say, and probably higher than that in a lot of cases to get that interview. You're not going to do that if you're not keyword matching. You have to keyword match. And if you don't know what that is, read this article and I'll teach you. Okay? What's the article called again? It's called ATS Screening Strategy. In fact, I'm going to put it here in the comments again. Anybody who wants to read it. How to earn interview. I can't type and say something other than what I'm typing at the same time. I've never learned that skill. But here you can do that right there. Okay. So if you want to read this article, go ahead and find it right here. But the file format, I'm talking about basics. I'm also talking about knockout questions. You need to be prepared for those. For example, a lot of you are watching from around the world. What's a knockout question? A knockout question could be, are you legally able to work in the United States? And if you don't have, your work visa, or you're not a natural citizen, or, naturalized citizen, then that answer might be no. And if that answer is no, that's probably a knockout question. It doesn't matter the rest of it, qualifications. For example, one of the jobs that I posted the other day for one of my clients, East Point, they're looking for clinical technicians for prosthetics and orthotics. And I know I said that wrong because I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. So anyways, they're looking for those. And I had a couple people from Nigeria say, hey, yeah, we'd love it. I'm qualified. I'm good to go. But they're not legally able to work in the United States. So they aren't considered. You have to, you have to meet all of them. For example, you might want a CDL job. I have a client, Maston and Kane. They're a 3PL company in Indiana, and they're hiring for spotting drivers. But you have to have a commercial driver's license to be eligible. And some of the people that have applied don't have a CDL. Well, we can't hire you for a job that requires a CDL if you don't have one. Okay. So I teach you about how to, some things to review and how to make sure that you have got it correct before you apply. I give you some advice. And then I teach you how to prepare for the interview and some final thoughts. Anyways, pretty good article. It's free. Again, look, there's no ads. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me just make it the whole thing. But there's no ads on here. There's no pop-ups. There's nothing for you to, you don't have to pay anything. You can't even make a donation on here. It's completely free. It's what I call a philanthropy. A lot of people call it nonprofit. Doesn't matter. Same idea, basically. I'm here helping people, right? And so if you want that or other things, like if you do get the interview and you want help on how to prepare, you really should probably read this one too. I know that the cover has got some funky colors there. It's a whole lot of green. But I was doing that because if you win the interview, you get paid. So that's why I did that. But anyways, read this because I give you basically a 10-step checklist on how you can make sure that you crush that interview. And that's what you want to do. you want to crush it because it's a competition. I know people don't like the word competition anymore, but everybody doesn't get a ribbon here. One person gets the job and everybody else is still looking. So you have to make sure that you crush that thing. I will teach you for free how to do that. And that's available to everybody around the world. It's up 24/7, 365 days. I get these emails every once in a while from Google. It says, update your customers if you're going to be open whatever day, Labor Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. Yeah, I get this periodic. It just makes me laugh. I'm like, don't you understand? It's a website. It never closes. It's always up. The only time it's ever gone down is when I have to take it down for maintenance, which does happen from time to time, but usually the service doesn't affect anybody. So anyways, Project Help You Grow is free. It's out there if you want it. Now, I've been on for 35 minutes. I'm scheduled to be on for another 25 or so. If you have a question, now is the time to drop that thing in the comments. If you have a question, all you need to do is ask me a question in the comments and I will answer them. You can also, if you like, you can join me live. So join the conversation. There are two ways to do it. You can put your questions for me in the comments, or if you want to click on that link and join me live on video, you don't need any fancy equipment. Just as long as you're on camera, I'll bring you up on stage. We can talk. You can hang out for a while if you like, or you can just ask a question and drop back off. Either way is fine with me. But I'm trying to help people get social on social media. That is the goal here today. This is about how can I help you be seen and achieve your objectives on social media. So if you have a question about Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Twitter or Pinterest or TikTok or LinkedIn or whatever platform you have a question about, you can ask me, and I'll be happy if I can to answer it. I'm not an expert on everything, but I know a little bit about social media. I'm really excited to be growing, not just on LinkedIn, but on all the platforms. My Instagram account, most recently, we just eclipsed 71,000 followers on Instagram. If you guys don't know, I am a professional photographer. In fact, I'm getting ready to do another shoot here later today for a family for Christmas. We're doing Christmas portraits for the family. So that's exciting. Some of the noise outside, my kids are out there cleaning up the house so I don't embarrass myself when they come over. They're coming to my home studio and we're going to shoot here. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, Instagram. How do you grow on Instagram? It's really not that much different than how you grow anywhere, right? You need to make posts. But again, it's top of mind. If you guys don't know what I mean by that, let me explain what top of mind is. All right. So here's the thing. I've got 196,000 followers on LinkedIn. Yay! Sort of. Here's the thing. A lot of those people followed me 3 years ago. They probably don't remember they're following me now, but they are. So they count in the number, but it doesn't do anything for me by itself, right? What do I need to make those 196,000 followers on LinkedIn effective for me and for any of my clients that I would, be representing? Here's what I need to do. I need to stay at the top of their mind because it's so easy on social media to get buried. You start getting lower and lower on someone's thought process because what are they thinking about? They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about their work. They're thinking about their kids or their obligations or their dreams. They're not thinking about Ira Bowman, right? Not even my own parents are thinking about me all the time. My wife, my kids, they're thinking about them. Everybody's favorite topic, whether they like to admit it or not, is them because you think about yourself and your challenges more than anything else. That is how the human mind, the psyche works. I get it. Top of mind, not offended at all. So how do you stay at the forefront of people's minds? One of the main ways you do it is by being seen on social media, right? So you make a post, you make a comment. You don't have to make posts every 5 seconds. In fact, I don't recommend it, not on any platform. Probably the one you can get away with making the most content is Twitter. That's the one where it seems to be the most acceptable because it's moment to moment. You're tweeting in the moment on Twitter. LinkedIn is probably the one that you would post the least on, right? So you have your release. What am I trying to say? Volume. That's not even the right word. Frequency. That's the word I'm looking for. So you have your release frequencies, and on different platforms, those frequencies are going to vary. But on LinkedIn, I promise you, I am on LinkedIn pretty much every hour of the hour. Not at the top of the hour per se, but I'm on there hourly. How do I do that? A lot of people say, Ira, how do you spend so much time on social media? Well, first of all, this is how I make my living. Like 100% is how I make my living. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have a job. This is my job. Now I own my company, but I have I have customers, and they have expectations, and the expectations are dictated based on what they paid me to do, right? So I'm on social media all the time. One of the ways that I accomplish it is this thing right here, right? And you'll have one, some form of it, anyways, right? You have a smartphone, most of you. There are a few people out there who still have like the old flip phones, and anyways, for whatever reason, they haven't gone with the smartphones yet. We have a tablet, some type of iPad, or whatever Microsoft version thing that you bought, right? We have Amazon Fires in my family because they're cheap, and we have Amazon Prime. So there you go. But everybody has, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people have those things, right? So I know this is going to sound gross, and I don't mean it to be gross, but I'm just going to get real with you. One of the ways that you could be more visible is, when you're going to the restroom, you ain't got nothing else to do. You certainly shouldn't be calling people, but you can scroll social media and make a few comments. I do that. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I do that. I'm standing in line waiting for something. The other day I was at Starbucks waiting for coffee. Guess what I was doing? I was on my phone, scrolling social media, making some comments. There are times when it's not multitasking in the truest sense of the word, but it is using that time that you're sitting somewhere waiting for something else to happen. You can use those moments to create a couple extra touch point opportunities if you want. Now, here's what I won't do. If I'm sitting with you at the dinner table or a meeting table, I'm not going to use my phone. Just scroll social media and make comments. That's rude. Be present when you're with people. But like I said, when you're in line, you're using the restroom, or you're doing something like that, you know what I mean? You can sit there and stare at the wall. Use your time wisely. So there's one way you can make more comments. The other thing, again, about being social is it's not just about you. This is what Mike and I were talking about specifically today. Was too many people are wasting their time not engaging with those who are engaging with them, right? Don't treat people like they're there to support you. They're your super fans or sycophants, or like I said, don't have the rock star mentality. It'll help you out if you will support those who support you. Have like a give to get, but do it in reverse. Give more to those who are giving to you already, right? So if you're going through your comments and you're noticing that these certain people, they're always supporting you, make it a point to go to their posts and support them. There's several ways to do it. I made a YouTube video a couple years ago on how to bookmark your favorite contacts or the people that you want to make sure you don't miss out with. Because too many of you don't understand how the algorithm works, and I get it, right? I'm an algorithm nerd. I study the algorithms on a lot of platforms. But most of you don't have the time or, frankly, the experience to understand how to do that, what that entails, and how to make practical sense of algorithms. But here's what you can do. It's easy. Everybody can do it. It's so simple. Let's say you're on Ira Bowman's profile on Instagram, right? Go to instagram.com/Ira M. Bowman. And there I will be. Then you just hit that little star or whatever your browser you're using bookmark it as a favorite. And then you decide how often, once a day, once a week, whatever your frequency would be. Make sure you peruse those bookmarks and then go through the content and make some comments. It's so easy and you can do it fast, right? I can keep up with so many people because a lot of the way that I think is systematic, right? It's not haphazard. And I sure as hell don't let the algorithms on any platform dictate what I see and what I don't see. I don't like that, right? When you're connected to people, you want to see their stuff. But when you start connecting to more than 50 people, it becomes practically impossible for the feeds of these platforms to show you everything that everybody's doing. So they start picking and choosing what they're going to show you based on what they think you want to see, or sometimes it's motivated by them because, I know a lot of you don't like to hear this, but there's pay to play going on out there. People are boosting their posts and things like that. They're paying the platform to show you their content. So if you just scroll your feed, what do I mean by that? Let me show you. This is what I mean. I'm going to pull up my Facebook. Right, hang on. I don't like that view. I'll do this view. Okay. So here's my Facebook right now. I just pulled it up. Okay. Now, if I want to see what's going on, this is what most of you do. You pull up your Facebook and you start scrolling, right? Okay. Here's my latest post on Facebook, by the way. Using Excel you are, learn Python you must, and that's my client solely. Okay. So I shared their post. But if I want to, what I could do is I could hit most recent. So that view there was what they call top view, right? And this is most current view. Not bad. But what I'm talking about is something, I don't have this for Facebook because I frankly don't care as much about Facebook, but I have this thing over here for LinkedIn. See, I've even made a folder. And I've got all these people inside here. It's like if I want to go see one of my friends and see what he's up to, I just go straight to his posts. I'm not viewing his profile. I know who he is. I'm just going straight to his post. And then what would I do? It says, just got my wreath for supporting my niece. Right? And I can hit the love button. I can say something like, and now I've just supported him. And this is one way that I can do it. Whether or not LinkedIn shows me these folks or they don't. Like one that I love supporting, Sheila Jones, one of my good friends, Sheila. Okay. Now she hasn't been posting in a while. So I could still come over here to all activity and now I can see where she's commenting because she is commenting. She made this comment 7 hours ago. See what I mean? So I can come here if I want to chat with her and I could say, hey, Sheila. It's nothing to do with the post, but I don't care. Guess what? Now Sheila knows that I'm thinking about Sheila. And I've just stayed top of mind with my friend Sheila. I don't want her to forget about me, and I don't want her to think that I've forgotten about her. So there's a couple like real world tips for you, strategies. And you can do that whether it's Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or YouTube channels. I've got plenty of YouTube channels saved, right? But I don't let the algorithms of any of the platforms dictate what I see and what I don't see. I don't have time for that. Right? Strategy. Now, if you want to be seen by lots of people, part of your social media strategy should be to find people who you find they're interesting, but also who tend to have larger comment sections. That's the party. I refer to that as the party. You want to find some people that will have parties. For example, one of my favorites, he owns Vayer Media. It's Gary Vaynerchuk, right? I love to participate in his posts because I know a lot of people are going to be there. Look, the guy has almost 5 million followers, 4.9 something, I believe, right? He posts on a regular basis. He posts interesting things. It's in my vertical market. I make no bones about it. If Bowman Digital Media ever grows up to be a giant, we want to be just like their media. One of my role models for business. Okay. So what do? I go to those posts and I engage in those posts. Why? There's a lot of people there. I'm increasing my visibility. Now, I don't just do it on him. I also like Simon Sinek, another example. He posts on a regular basis, or somebody posts for him. Doesn't matter. Same thing with Gary, frankly, right? It's probably VAs. It happens. Look, it's against LinkedIn's policies. I'm not a proponent of it. Follow the rules, people. It's not worth risking your account. But the bottom line is, his profile is saying something, and there's a lot of people commenting, and I want to be seen by a lot of people, so I make comments on those posts. Join the party. That's how you make new friends. So instead of, applying for 500 jobs a day or posting a CV that isn't going to work, some of the things that you can do is increase your visibility. And I've given, hopefully, what you all think, or hopefully some advice that you all will take. Because I promise you, I'm not playing around on social media. This is how I make my living. I make 6 figures a year on social media. It's pretty cool. And you can do all the same things I'm doing. It's not rocket science. Does it require effort? You better believe it. The reason why there aren't more Ira Bowmans on social media is because it takes a lot of work to do what I do. And most people don't want to put in the time. They just don't. But I've been putting 12-hour days, 6 days a week since 2018 on this stuff, right? I've been doing this a long time. So it won't happen overnight. But if you do it consistently and you continually work to improve, don't get forgotten on social media. And comment. Too many people worried about making the perfect post and having a post go viral. And I actually don't see that as much. There for a while, I saw the word viral. Like every hour, like clockwork, I saw another post, go viral, viral. Who cares? It's not about any one post. Social media is a marathon, not a sprint. You should not be in this for temporary results, right? Social media is a long game. It's a long game. And what's the ultimate goal of social media? For most of you, it'll be about selling a product or getting a job. And there's nothing wrong with that. For some of you that are watching, my business owners out there, it's going to be about driving people to your website. And that's what it really should be about. And why is that so effective? I teach this all the time. There are 6 main avenues, lanes, that website traffic comes from. And I'm getting ready to do a TED Talk in April in just outside Philadelphia in a place called Wilmington, Delaware. I'm going to be doing a TED Talk on how you can use LinkedIn to accomplish your professional goals. But I'm going to talk for about a minute on these 6 different lanes so that people will understand the point and how to drive website traffic. Because if you're trying to accomplish your goals, you're going to need that, right? You got to have a basic understanding of where this stuff comes from and how you use your efforts. SEO, why is SEO and social media so important? It's the only 2 lanes of the 6 where people hang out by the billions, not the millions, not a couple 100,000, not thousands. Billions of people are on social media. Billions of people use search engines. So if you can concentrate your efforts, your marketing efforts, on those 2 lanes, you can drive unlimited numbers of people to your website. The better you get at either, or the better you get at both, you can drive a lot of people to your website. You don't have to spend money on email campaigns and ClickFunnels and all these other things. I mean, you can. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. That depends on what you're doing, who you are. But what I'm saying is you can always do the 2. Or if you have a website, you should be doing social media and SEO in concert to drive people to your website 100%. There is no exception to that. Yeah, you're welcome. There's a lot. I've written most of them. I do have some guest authors on there. Project Help You Grow. The other place that has really good blogs is Bowman Digital Media. If you're not familiar with my professional site, even for job seekers, even for people who aren't business owners, I write a lot of helpful tips on Bowman Digital Media. In fact, let me pull it up. Let me pull up Bowman Digital Media and we'll go to my screen share because, again, I don't have anybody joining me at the moment. But here is Bowman Digital Media, the homepage. And then if you come into the About, go to the blog, little drop down menu. Come here, and here's the practical differences between a follower and a connection on LinkedIn. I just posted this last night, by the way. So there you go. So there are articles on here for mainly for business owners and folks in marketing. But there are some things on here, like if you're not familiar with SEO, here's common SEO terms that all beginners must know. There's a good starter article for you if you're not familiar with SEO. Let's look at them real quick. We got keywords, we got backlinks. And there's the different types of backlinks, internal and external links, and a conclusion. So, what is that, 500 words or so on, but it's just common terms that will help you understand SEO. There's so many articles like that on this website that you can read. And I have interviews on here. These are the written, or what we call the text, right, versions of the article, or I'm sorry, of the interviews. If you want to see interviews from other people, check this out too. Sorry, that was my WordPress stuff. Okay, here we go. If you come here, you can see marketing tips from all the people that I've interviewed on this show over the past year or so. And then also I have my business leader conversations, which I call industry interviews by Ira, or Ira to the third. I've got 5 of them up on there. You can check all this stuff out. Again, these are all free. So there's lots of ways to take the information that I have acquired and learned over the years and apply it to your personal strategies. Take a little time? Sure it will. But it'll be worth it for you, I think. And I don't know if I showed this. I just want to say hello, Mariella, my good friend Mariella in Santa Barbara. And I hope that the blogs are helpful. That's what they're there for. And they're all free. I don't have any blogs that you have to pay or subscribe anything to read. So if I put it out there for public consumption, everybody's welcome to read it, and you don't have to pay anything for it. Really, the only things I charge for are when I'm doing the work for you or your business, because I don't actually do individual work at Bowman Digital Media. And Project Help You Grow stuff is all free of charge. Okay, I got 2 minutes left, and then it'll be my 60 minutes, and I'm going to jump off and do some other things. I got to get ready for a meeting, and then I've got, like I said, I've got a photo shoot that I'm doing a little bit later after that. So I've got some things to prep for. But if you have any questions, by all means, put them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. Again, on social media, top of mind, don't be forgotten. Make sure that you're commenting on people's posts, even if you're not making a lot of posts or you've never made a post. And there are, like job seekers, you don't necessarily need to make posts. I think that you should make at least one. So when people come to your profile, it doesn't look like you don't know how to use the platform, right? But I don't think that you have to worry about being a content creator. So what would you say? If you were a job seeker and you've never made a post, let's do this real quick. What would you say? I would say something to the effect of, hey, thanks for visiting me on LinkedIn. I'm currently looking for the role of fill in the blank, right? Whatever you're looking for. And I appreciate you stopping by. If you would like to talk to me, comment below, send me a direct message. I would love to talk to you about an opening. It shows yourself friendly. It gives yourself an opportunity to be seen that, hey, yes, in fact, I'm validating that I am looking for this position, right? And then don't share your CV. Don't share your resume in your featured section. Do not do that. Don't do that. Because again, that's going to get you, it's going to get you straight to the rejection pile. It's not going to get you the interview. You want to earn the interview, you have to keyword match in today's market. I'm not saying again that it didn't work in the past and it might not work again somewhere down the road, but for right now, it's not the strategy to employ. It's just the wrong strategy for a variety of reasons, which I've already covered ad nauseum in this show. So make sure you don't do that. But make a singular post, make a couple posts, that's fine. But spend most of your time, the bulk of your time, making comments. Go to people in your industry. If you're a job seeker, go to people in your industry, read their post, make a comment that adds some value or asks a question or both. If you're going to ask a question, try not to ask yes or no questions either. Try to ask open-ended questions. I've given that advice many times before. But why? Because it starts conversations. It's easier for somebody to respond. And others might jump in too. Right? Don't focus simply on people that could hire you directly. Talk to other people. Make friends. Use social media to make friends. Why? If I know you're looking for a job, like my friend Mariella, let me just show you. Mariella is looking for a job. Now she's taking a little bit of a break right now. She's had a rough year. She's been rejected a lot this year. And part of it has to do, no offense, Mariella, but it's her age. And she knows that. She's fighting against this thing called ageism. And it's really, frankly, first of all, it's illegal and it's frustrating. I totally get it. So she's taking a little bit of a break because it's been a rough year. But I know what Mariella is looking for. And if I find somebody who's advertising a position, they're hiring for something that Mariella can do, I will recommend her. Now, sometimes I'll do it publicly, and sometimes I'll do it privately, depending on what I think is most appropriate. But I will recommend her. Why? Because she's my friend. We've become friends on social media. Now, yes, I have met her in person. I actually made a point to drive by her house one day, even though it was out of my way. On the way from San Francisco to Los Angeles, I stopped by Santa Barbara. Instead of going down the 5, I flipped on over to the 101, which I don't like doing, but I did it. Anyways, I did it. Why? Because I wanted to meet her, and I got to meet her husband, Steve. It was awesome. Okay? Why did I do that? Because we became friends. That's why. Okay? Look what she just did. She commented on my post. She stays top of mind. She shares my posts. She comments on my posts. She tags me in comments of other people's posts. Right? That's the kind of stuff that you do to make friends on social media. You look outward and you try to figure out ways to help other people. You talk about things that aren't necessarily most important to you, but are important to the people that are talking. And we call that at SPN, right? Service Professionals Network. We call that win-win networking. And I've been using that term for the past 3 years because it makes sense. You do it. Win-win networking. It's not how much can I get from this person, or that person should be making comments on my post. And maybe they should based on your relationship and what they've done. But if they're not, one of the first things that I would have you do is look internally. Well, when's the last time you made a comment on their post? Right? I have this expression, I say it all the time, give to get. It's not that everything I do is about getting something back. But I do know that if I want comments on other people's posts, I'm more likely to get them if I give them first. Right? Pay it forward. Remember that old movie? I can't remember the title off the top of my head, but the idea was pay it forward. I think that actually was the movie title. Now I'm thinking about it, pay it forward. Anyways, right? You do things, kind things for people without them, quote unquote, earning it. And, on social media, a lot of times people will return the favor more than they will lead by example, right? They're not going to lead with it. You have to you do have to, for the most part, give things to people before they earn it and then hope that they're, win-win mindset and they'll reciprocate. A lot of people won't. Don't get frustrated. Don't get discouraged. Just find the people that will. Make a note of it. Go, Mariella, look, I want to tell you something. You want a win-win networker? This lady right here. This lady right here is a win-win networker. If you help her, she will help you. She's friendly. She'll help you even if you don't help her a lot of times. But I guarantee you, if you do help her, she will help you without question. Okay. So, anyways, that's my time for today. In fact, I went a little bit over. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Again, Marketing Mondays is probably not coming back in its quote unquote present. Here's another one of my buddies. Happy Monday, Brady, my brother from another mother. My kids tease us. They say we could be brothers, but anyways, we go to church together. We work in the audio visual booth together at church, so we're in the back, and we both have bald heads and beards, sort of. Anyways, one of us is funny and one of us is good looking. I'll let you decide who's who. Anyways, hopefully this was helpful. Marketing Mondays, like I said, I'm probably disbanding this particular show, and I probably won't be coming back at this time. But what I'm thinking of doing is more of this. But what I want to do is I want to have more of you who are watching on the show with me, not as a host per se, but just as like, think of it as like a panel where you can join when you're available and participate. And what I really want to do is give people a platform to kind of like increase their visibility. And so I'm working through the details on that, kind of like a Brady Bunch box thing, where people talk, and it could be like Mariella, maybe she had an interview that week and we'd be talking about her interview, right, as one of the conversation topics. Maybe somebody just got a retweet, like the other day, Mike and I on Twitter, we had a national broadcaster out of Chicago retweet our posts on Twitter. And that's a pretty big deal because, guy has a big account. So maybe we would talk about that, like what's that like and what do you do with it and things like that. Or, somebody actually just emailed me, and I've got to get back to her about how to edit a Zoom video. Like what's a good app to use for editing a Zoom video. So I've got to get back to her on that. So that might be something that we would talk about on the show. It's just, topical stuff, social media related, maybe marketing, maybe job search. Yeah, all the above. All the above. So what am I going to call it? When's it going to be on? I'm still kicking it around. So I'll let you know. But anyways, I've really enjoyed the Marketing Mondays. I thought about bringing back Ask Ira too, but honestly, I was getting the same questions all the time on that show. It was like, well, if you watched the shows last week when somebody else asked it, I had already given the answer, and I did that for 3 months. So I felt like, there's got to be something a little bit more fun for everybody with new, I'm not about regurgitating the same answers over and over again, right? It's okay if I get asked the question the same time periodically, but it's like every show, I don't want it to be the same question. Otherwise, what's the point? Live shows should be fun. And I thought it would be cool because a lot of you want to go live, but you don't want to have your own show, or you haven't been approved or whatever. And it's like, this would allow more people to get up on stage and have some fun. So look for that. It probably will start in January, probably, but maybe not. We'll see. Anyways, I'll be live every once in a while. I'm not necessarily going to announce when I'm going to go live. I didn't announce today. I just kind of came on and it was fun. So I'll probably do more of that. And I might actually tinker with taking my show on the road a little bit too. We'll see how that goes. I have the capability because I have a laptop and all this stuff. These cameras and microphones are all USB based. So we might get out on location and do some stuff. I was thinking about doing one for photography, doing a shot, editing it, the shot, and then going live from location and talking about, the angles and the lighting and stuff like that. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know. But in the meantime, I hope this has been fun. It was getting social with Ira. Nobody came on camera. That's okay. I did get a couple questions. We answered them, and I hope they were satisfactory. And I hope you got something out of the show. Until next time, have a great day, everybody. BowmanDigitalMedia.com.